Hello viewers and welcome to another edition of our women's program Karimpe. Today it's a very special day, a very special occasion and a very special program indeed this day, because today is Mother's Day. That's right, as soon as we say the word called mother, it brings us a whole lot of images in front of us, and images most of the time are happy images, because when we speak of a mother and motherhood, I think motherhood and being a mother means love, compassion, sacrifice, the endless amount of sleepless nights to bring the child to the level to which we are today. Well, today in this program we will be talking about that woman called the mother who does so much for us, and as I said, we are today what we are because of the role that she has done in our lives. Today we are also mothers, and well, today in this program I am being joined to speak about mother and motherhood by three beautiful dynamic mothers who are here in the studio today to talk about the role that mothers play, what it means to them, and what are some of the challenges and excitements that they go through every single day as they raise their children. So stay with us in this program, and may I now go ahead and introduce our guests here who are sitting beside me. To my left is Mrs. G. Marni Bhatkar. She is the administrator cum founder of Happy Feet School. We are also joined next to her by Dr. Vansalan Karu Shalai. She is a doctor, of course, and from the Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology in Negrims, Shillong. And sitting next to her is Venetia Farida Rani. She is the Deputy Manager of Punjab National Bank. So as I told you, we have some very dynamic, successful and happy mothers here to discuss on the role of mothers. So warm round of welcome to each one of you. Thank you so much for coming to the studios of Doordarshan, and on this happy occasion, because we celebrate the woman who is also a mother most of the times, right? Thank you. So may I begin with you, Marni. You are a successful entrepreneur. You have a little school of your own, where little children study. You are a mother yourself of 3 grown-up boys now, right? So before I go into all of the challenges and the happy moments, tell us, what do you feel about this day today, that you are a mother? What does motherhood and being a mother mean to you?
I think it has a very deep meaning for me. I became a mother at a very early age, but I was very, very happy about it. I was not fearful. I wanted to accept it, and I wanted to grow along with my children, and I'm very happy to be here. I'm very happy to be a mother. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Let me come to Dr. Vansalan, because you are in a position where you have many sleepless nights because you are called for duty any time in the night as well. Yet you have a little boy or a little girl, a little child also. You're a mother?
Yes, I have a 4-year-old son.
4-year-old son.
Yes.
So what does this day, what kind of a significance does this day hold for you?
Being a mother for me personally, it is a learning experience because I've come to learn of the strengths I never knew I had, and I've also come to face fears that I never knew existed. So motherhood is a unique experience for everyone, but for me personally, it is a sacred journey in life, and motherhood has also, to me personally, motherhood, it's brought about the sense of contentment, and it's made me whole, and it's brought about a new sense of purpose in life.
True, so well said, because I think once we were all young girls one day, and soon we became mothers too, and that added a completely new dimension to our lives. Let me come to Farida. Farida, you have got 3 children too, all grown up, doing well.
Yes.
Also, you are also a banker, a very stressful and a job which entails a lot of to be in the office. So according to you, what are the roles you feel mothers actually fulfill in our lives?
Yeah, the roles of a mother are multiples. She is a, to her children. She is a guide. She is I mean, she does many things. What to say? Uh, Many roles. Okay.
Right.
But as a mother, I feel so blessed, and I feel loved, and I feel that having these 3 grown-up children, I feel accomplished as a mother.
Right. So true.
Seeing
I mean,
them doing well, I feel really accomplished.
right. I mean, it's such a nice, beautiful word that I think all of you all have used, called that sense of purpose, a sense of accomplishment, because motherhood and being mothers completes us. I think every woman dreams to be a mother, despite all the challenges, despite, the troubles that comes along with it. But then you feel empty somehow if you don't have a little one around you to take care of, right? So what other roles, Amani, do you think a mother fulfills in our life? Because we are mothers today, but we also have our own mothers from whom we have learned so much in our lives. So what kind of role really does a mother play in our lives?
I think a mother has to play a lot of roles. She's not just a caregiver. She's also she's a chauffeur. She's a nurse. She's a doctor. Everything. She has to look after the children. So I feel a mother has to do a lot of roles, multiple roles. But when you do it with an open heart, with gratitude, there's no other feeling, no better feeling than that. So a mother is actually, but the main role that the mother has to play is bringing up her child to be a good human being, to be accepted in society. I feel that's the most important role.
Duty, yes, the most important duty that all mothers has to go through. Because a mother, as Marnie has said, she's just not a mother at home. She also has a job outside, because there are so many women also balancing this. Does it become a little challenging, difficult at times for you, especially, Vansa, because, as I told you, being a doctor is a challenging job in any case, and then being a mother and having a little one who's in a very impressionable age.
Right. So I think one of the challenges that I have faced for sure is trying to achieve and maintain a work-life balance, which at times can be very difficult. So because of that, we end up having mom guilt. Okay, so there's this ever grappling effect of always having the mom guilt, and whether I am doing enough, whether I'm making time enough for my son. But what I've learned, my son is just 4 years old, so I'm a very new mom compared to my friends here. But what I've learned in this short period is that I should not allow these challenges to take away the joy of motherhood. Challenges will always be there. And no matter how hard we try to be a perfect mother, there will be times when we will fail. But then we should learn that we should always pick ourselves up, and it's a learning journey. We will learn on the job, and we should face challenges. So whether it's a working mother or even a stay-at-home mother, we'll all have our own challenges. But learning how to cope with them is the way forward. Yes.
Because, we often think that a working mother only has many roles to fulfill, but what about those mothers whose job actually at home, being at home, is much more, right? It's like a real huge amount of roles that she has to fulfill. We will be talking about that, but then let me also come to, Farida. Farida, you are also a banker, again, a hectic. So how do you balance these two, outside world, inside home again? How does the balance happen?
So what I do when the kids were small, I used to do everything beforehand, and I prioritize and get ready everything beforehand.
Okay.
So what to do tomorrow, drop your kids, and then get ready for a tiffin, get them ready, and I go to office. So that way, adjustment is needed, especially for me to perform the dual role as a mother and as a working mother.
Working mother too. So time management, I think, is
very, very
important,
important.
Right?
Yes.
So Marnie, when we manage time ourselves, being mother, what about, managing, the children also has to adjust, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, not only we adjust, but we need to give credit to the kids also, who also has to be, all the time set into that, kind of a tune, that they also adjust to the time. So how important is time management for all mothers?
I think it's very important. We need to know that our working hours are, certain hours are just our working hours, and we need to give time to them, especially in the evenings. In the daytime, in the mornings, they go off to school and they're busy with their own work. But evenings, it's very important. We need to have a little time together, maybe one meal together. And we also need to, encourage them to, have more family time, go on little trips together whenever there's a holiday. So we have to adjust to them and they need to adjust to us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because, being a modern day parent especially means our time, maybe it was a little slack, a little slow. Technology had not really taken over our lives. But today's children, their lives is literally technology bound. So we have to move with time. You agree with that we also have evolved along with them? Because of course you still have a young little one, but then do you think that we also have to adjust to the change that is setting in around us too?
Yes, definitely. And I feel as a parent, like my friend Mani has mentioned, the best gift a parent can give a child is time, quality time. So especially for me, being a healthcare worker, what I've realized is that especially at the height of the pandemic, it was very difficult for me, to balance work and spending time with my child. But then where there's a will, there's always a way, and if we prioritize it, we'll always find a way to come up with solutions. So I think it is very important. And another thing what I would like to stress on is it takes a village to raise a child, and we should never be shy of asking and accepting help. So for example, it can be from an immediate family, extended family, or even a friend or neighbor. So that is very important, because nowadays we are moving more towards nuclear families. We don't have the extended family anymore. So asking for help doesn't show that we are weak, right? So that is also very important.
And I think, we are just coming out of the pandemic situation, but I remember 2 years back the situation when all children were at home.
Right.
They were home. Of course, we loved them being home, but then we also had to be very creative, because now all their time was at home, study time to take care of their homeworks. Mother suddenly became a big time teacher too at home. Tell us your moments, Mani. How was it then? Because so much of homeworks and everything you had to manage, along with your other work that you also had to do.
Yes, I had to plan for my school. But at the same time, I had to sit with the children. I was lucky because in the school that they go to, they had proper online classes. But I had to do a lot of explanations to them. I had to sit in the evenings, and there were times, because I have teenage boys, and there were times when they were very troubled because they were not being able to meet their friends, they were not being able to go out. And yes, I had to do a lot of counseling as well, as best as I could. So it was difficult, but we pulled through.
Yeah, that's what. Because family, a family is a unit, right? And every member plays a role. I think once we have grown-up children, the youngsters learn from the elder siblings, right? Farida, you have any such experience you would like to share, because you've got 3 grown-up kids. So how are they, like, the youngest one maybe seeks a little bit more attention, and then so how did you manage to do all of that?
I gave the same love to all my 3 children.
Okay.
But then, right from the time when they were small, if you have disciplined them, like teach them that the elder brother, like he's always, like, you understand, the second one, he always looks up to the younger brother.
Exactly, yeah.
So when the elder brother does well, even the second one automatically goes well. So with my daughter, I didn't have any problem at all. Like, she's okay. But sometimes she turns out, like when she was small, she was, like, started to become like a boy, all cowboys at the house. So, but now they are grown up, so now they have become independent. And I don't need to tell them anything. In fact, now they are guiding me. Yeah,
but then I think a mother's role doesn't end as once the children become grown up. I think there are other things that comes. Their situation. Supposing they are now into a job, so those kinds of frustrations we again have to counsel. So a mother's job doesn't end as soon as the children grow up. Mani?
No.
Right?
No,
it is
doesn't.
a continuous.
It is a continuous.
I am still mothered. Even at this age, my mother still mothers me. Right? So it is. a lifelong process and a lifelong continuous journey that we share with the special relationship that we share with our mothers. But then, I would like to give this question to each one of you. With growing time, the role of parenting also has changed. We really cannot be very strict and stern with them because they have their issues, they have their problems, they have their peer pressure, and we need to handle all of that very sensitively, very carefully. So how has that been with each one of you? You maybe not, it will come in due course. Maybe today you can learn it from the other senior mothers. Yeah. Then Mani, has there been any such situation which you had to handle very, very sensitively also?
Yes, there has been. In fact, during the pandemic, my youngest son was a little apprehensive about, they go through physical changes as well as emotional changes, and they are very confused at that age. So there were certain times when he was unsure about himself, and he would, break down. But then, I would talk to him, and eventually he would, understand. And then I was very lucky because all my 3 boys were at home. So the older brothers would also, speak to him and tell him, we've also gone through this. So it has, every day is a challenge. Every day is a challenge. But we are facing it, and we need to change. We need to understand that they are not how we were brought up. It's different. Absolutely. We need to change. We need to change our ideologies on how to bring up children now.
Right. Because often certain parents or certain mothers give the example that during my time it wasn't like this. In my time I was like this. They give their own example. But my time was long ago. This time is many years later. So Farida, what is your thought like? Because how are we supposed to also change along with the situation? Because the time today is different. We need to accept that, and the challenges the children face are also different. So how do we handle that?
See, you have to be very close with your children, and sometimes you have to act as like a friend. You have to be as like a friend to your children, so that they'll be open with you. They don't need to hide. When we were small, remember, Moshmi, suppose if you have a boyfriend, we hide. We're so scared to tell our parents. But now children are open, and then if you are close with them, and then you're just like a friend, and then they tell you everything. So it's easy, it becomes easier.
I think this is a very important point that you have brought out, and that is to have a very open relationship with your children. There should be so much of intimacy that they should be willingly coming to you forward, right, and discussing their problems, because we may not know what goes on behind the scene when they are away from us, maybe in school, in college, wherever. But then there should be a healthy, open discussion at home. Vansa, any such experience you've gone through
for
also?
me, what I've learned is the power of words. So we have to be kind, gentle, but also stern. And at the same time, I may have a long day and my son wants to tell me about what has happened in school. I should have the patience to listen to him and be attentive to him, because for them that is the most important. The most important thing, right? So I feel power of words, how we talk to our child and how we listen to them is also very important. And even if he's at a very young age, they follow examples. If they see if we treat them with respect, I think it will also reciprocate. So that's very important.
But then Mani, I have seen also parents and mothers who have boys especially, maybe they overdo, they go a bit overboard in pampering children, and that can actually misguide the child, right? Where is the limit therefore? Where do we draw the line? Because she said raise them with love, but also be firm when the situation demands. Do you think sometimes mothers or parents on the whole go a little overboard in raising their children, and that actually creates problem in the long run when the child grows up?
Actually, Moshimi, that depends on the situation. Yes, you bring them up with a lot of love, but they should not take advantage of your love. You know, they
And
should
how about
understand.
like fulfilling every demand? Like they can be quite demanding. So where do you stop? Where do you say no? This is this.
I'm quite firm.
Okay.
I'm quite firm. Sometimes, yes, I do give in to them,
Right.
as all mothers do. But then I tell them that if you want something, you also have to earn it.
Right.
So, and they're big enough now. When they were smaller, it was not easy. We had to have different ways and means. But now they understand, and they know, as they grow up, you know, they will understand themselves that, okay, this is asking for a bit too much. I mean, because maybe the way they've been raised.
Right.
Right from an early age, you have to be firm with them. You have to draw a line. You have to put your foot down at times.
At times, true.
You know, when they were small, if they throw a tantrum, let them throw a tantrum for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
They'll
Yes.
understand that they will eventually not get what they want, and they'll forget about it.
Yeah, because I have seen, you know, sometimes in the marketplaces and especially in glittery shops where children are almost rolling on the floor demanding a certain toy, and a parent is forced to concede to that demand. You know, and thereby it starts small. Maybe a toy today, maybe something bigger tomorrow, right? And so therefore we need to really be very, very careful. What is the limit? Right? I mean, I remember when I was raising my daughter, I took her to the shop, but then I told her, you check the label, you know, what is the price? And I said, tell me the price. If I said, oh, no, we can't afford, you know. So, though maybe we could, but still we need to make them understand the value of money too, that money doesn't come easy, that one has to earn it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, so now let's come to another, you know, as I said, we are growing along with our children. What are some of the enriching moments to each one of you that, Farida, that you've also learned? Because, you know, they are of today's kids. They know so much. They are so much aware. But then we are also not so far behind. So what are some of the enriching moments that you would like to share being a mother?
There was one incident, like enriching moment, which has taught me also that we should not be judgmental.
Okay.
See, there was a certain age when your children, like you tend to be very, very overprotective over your children, especially at that adult stage. So you tell your child, don't go here, don't go with this boy. But actually it's not only other boys, even your own son, he's like that, but you don't realize, no? So when I tell my children like that, they say, Mom, please don't judge others. That is something that you learn and enrich. You know, it's enriching me, like that I should learn not to judge others. And then slowly you see, that is what to say. Slowly you see these children also, they do well in life. Because now I've got grown-up children and I see their friends also, they do well. So
exactly.
yeah, that is
Times are changing, and so is the way we look into things. We really cannot be so narrow-minded as well as unidirectional. Our mind also has to open up, because this is the time where they will mix. But then if we restrict them for everything, then how will they grow?
Yes.
Right? Your
For me, the enriching experience would be looking at the world through the eyes of a child. You know, they find joy in the little things in life. So we could be in the park in the evening, and he would be so fascinated by the leaves rustling on the trees because of a gentle breeze. And it doesn't take much for them to be joyful or content. So that's something I've learned from him, from my son. And another thing is, again, you know, the guilt feeling of being a mom. I remember at the start of COVID-19, my husband and I decided to leave my son with my parents, and we shifted to our offshore quarter in Nigrams, and the sense of guilt was so overwhelming. But one thing I can say for sure is children are more resilient than what we give them credit for.
Exactly.
You know, and that I learned on the job, you know, because motherhood doesn't come with a manual which instructs you what to do and what not to do, but it's always learning on the job. So these are some of the enriching experiences for me. Yes.
Because, you know, I have seen many single mothers also who are doing wonderfully well.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There are so many single moms who are doing their job so well. They are balancing, they are they have raised their children well, and they should be proud. And I think this is a day where we also have to give a lot of credit to all those single mothers who are single-handedly raising not
Right.
just a child, maybe more than a child.
Yes.
Right? Your enriching moments, because your little boys, you've seen them grow, all the naughty things that they must have done, but the happy, lovely memories also you have. How have they fulfilled you and enriched you more?
I've learned a lot of kindness from them.
Okay.
I've seen the little things, like the way they treat the helpers at home. I've learned about I've seen them grow into from little boys to men.
Okay.
But I've also learned from them things like not to take things for granted in life, to be grateful, because yes, I've seen the little things like you give them something small, but they're so happy when they were small, and it brings so much happiness to them. And now also, even if I get them a little maybe something good to eat, that sparkle in the eyes, it's still there. So they appreciate life.
Yeah,
They appreciate
little things
every
in
little
life.
thing. Yes.
Okay.
So I've learned a lot from them, in fact, and they're very intelligent now. Children are very intelligent. They're very sensitive towards other people.
Right.
all that.
And I think, we need to raise our children right from small to all these values that you have spoken of, because they will be the future citizens of this country. And so if we put good values, they grow into beautiful human beings at a later stage. And so we need to be role models, right? We need, because they watch us. Even a little child will watch every step, what we do and what we are doing. So quick closing comments, to all the would-be mothers maybe. What are some of the values that you think that all mothers should have, that they should pass it down to their children as well?
Yeah, they should love their parents, even though parenting is it's a bit tough. It might be hard, but you grow along the way as a mother.
Right.
So it will help, no? And then you just prioritize your time, and then just
That's
grow
it,
along
right?
with your child. Yeah.
Because we also have learned so much from our own mothers, right? My mother was a working mother. She never really had time, but she ensured that the food was there on the table, dining table, and then she was always on the job. So So today I have grown up learning that. So yes, quick closing comment.
For me, this poem comes to my mind. It's called "What Rules the World" by William Ross Wallace, and he talks about how the hand that rocks the cradle is the hand that rules the world.
Absolutely.
And as a mother nurtures a child not only to be a successful human being, but to be kind, compassionate, and in the long run she's giving back to society. So that's what I've learned. Even I've been brought up by a very strong mother. I've been surrounded by motherly figures like my grandmother, who've instilled the value of hard work in me. And it is their unwavering support, their unconditional love and belief in me that's made me who I am today, and I hope that I can be, I can do that to my son.
Right,
Yes.
right, because that is what happens. If you want to have a beautiful society, a strong society, the hand that is behind it all, I think, is a strong mother.
Right.
Of course, the father plays a very, very important role. I mean, we are not taking that away at all. But the mother's love and the sacrifice that she makes is huge, isn't it? Quick closing comments from you, Mani.
I would say that enjoy motherhood. Be grateful that you're been given an opportunity to be a mother, and do not take it too seriously. Grow along with the child at each stage. God is there. God always guides, as they say. And as a mother, you'll have the mother instinct. You'll know what's best for your child. Don't overdo it, but enjoy it along the way.
Absolutely, because being mothers, we have not gone through any manual really, but we have only learned through experience. And what our mothers have taught us, we learnt it, we will pass it on to the next generation also. Beautiful speaking to each one of you, Farida, Wanda and Mani, for coming to the studios of Doordarshan and enriching this program so much, speaking about the joyful moments, the challenges, and how you're enjoying this journey of motherhood. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Well then, viewers, that's how this beautiful program was. I hope you've enjoyed watching this and the lovely little stories that we got to hear, and I'm sure that you right now, you're hugging your little one or your grown-up one and enjoying the moments that has made you what you are today, that is to be a mother. Thank you for being with us in this program. Until next time, from all of us here, it's goodbye.